So what does it mean to be a man in today's society? What does it take to live autonomously? People talk about men of character. So what's character? I've made a list of a few good male character traits. Let me know what you think. Courage, integrity, faith, perseverance and persistence, sincerity, compassion, self-reliance, self-control, confidence and self-respect, enthusiasm, ambition, patience and truth. Character can't be developed in an environment in which ethical decisions are forced upon an individual. Character is a product of judgment, discretion and choice, born from a man's free agency. Behaviours that have been coerced are not born of moral decisions. Moral discipline is a quality that allows a man to bear hardships stoically and even seek out a more austere life, a life less dependent on indulgences that can deprive character and lead to destructive behaviours. Are you in control of your impulses and desires? Or is it the other way round? Are you a slave to your primal urges? Are you able to direct your will and make rational decisions, or do you give in to temptations? As a man, you can be persuaded to go against your better judgment with cleverly crafted words and enticements, entrapment in the form of temptations, creating fantasies and imagined scenarios to trick your mind and steer you off course. Taking steps towards autonomy mean that you have greater awareness and you're able to make good decisions for your own self-preservation. You confront who you were and accept who you are now. Overcoming primal urges and controlling these emotions so that we think rationally with our heads. We transition from just thinking about the new standards we've set for ourselves to actually living by those standards, being true to yourself. We strive to overcome apathy and learn to live for ourselves without the need for female validation. We become more aware and realize when we may be putting ourselves in potentially dangerous situations and avoid taking unnecessary risks. We need to have the mental and emotional resolve not to fall into old habits and repeat patterns of behavior that could potentially destroy our lives. And we should refuse to associate with toxic individuals. Having your own identity, independent of others, makes you better equipped to survive when people do you wrong. If your home, finances, and emotional and physical well-being are invested in relationships, then you can expect to lose everything when the relationship ends, as a man being subject to the laws and attitudes of society today. MGTOW is a support network where men check in and check out and relapse all the time. MGTOW cannot be your family or your identity. It's a set of values and principles to live by for self-preservation. You choose who to trust and who not to trust. Have you ever been accused of having trust issues? When people accuse you of having trust issues, they are trying to coerce you into believing that not everybody is like that. And it's true. But you can never afford to take anyone at face value or link them in any way to who you are as a person. Because when they have to go, you will be diminished as a person. Losing family is part of life, and grief is a painful process that we all have to go through, one which should make us stronger. But we have to choose carefully which outsiders to trust, and what percentage of our identities to safely invest in these people. To achieve autonomous living, we need to exercise free agency, living as an individual, dependent on yourself as much as is possible, and not being a follower. Being a follower is not being autonomous. Being a drone allows you to be used only as a tool by others. So I'll be looking at living as a man by your own agency, and how MGTOW principles relate to this concept. I'll also be looking at the necessary character traits needed to live as a man going his own way. I'll be looking at the lives of solitary men and comparing advantages and disadvantages of severing the bond between yourself and mainstream society and its values and beliefs. I'll also be exploring solitary pursuits and growing emotionally and in character as a man.